Hello and welcome again to this edition of Meet the Candidates. I'm David Nicholas and happy to have you with us here on WCMU. We are talking this year to our guests virtually, joined this time by Max Riekse. He is the Libertarian candidate for Michigan's 2nd Congressional District. Sir, thanks very much for joining us. In the first moment or two, give us a little bit of an idea. Tell us about you, your background and experience you bring to the campaign.
Well, first of all, I want to thank you for doing this. I think that what you do is very important in getting people to know the candidates, because the venues out there for seeing what is available to vote for is getting slimmer and slimmer. Okay, I'm Max Riekse. I'm a Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army, retired, 32 years. I spent 1 year in Vietnam, 1 year in Iraq. Retired after 32 years. I'm also a retired Michigan public school teacher, 23 years. Past president of my MEA local. I'm not endorsed by the very liberal MEA, however. Life member of the NRA, member since 1964. Been in the VFW for about 40 years, presently a commander of my VFW post. I have a bachelor's degree from the University of South Florida in political science and international relations, and 2 master's degrees from Western Michigan University, political science, international relations, education, and history, and a K-12 teaching certificate. I'm retired. And I fully support Social Security, Medicare, and I think we need to take off all illegal and legal aliens from Social Security and Medicare, and that way we have more money to bump up for American citizens. I paused.
If we look then potentially at immigration as one of the key issues, I would assume that would be on your list if we ask what you as candidate and the voters that you have spoken with are identifying as the key issues in this campaign this year.
Well, I'm focused on, first of all, I'm a strong Trump supporter, even though I'm a libertarian, but I get it. Some of my best friends don't support Trump. So I said, Libertarian Party candidate Joe Jorgensen is an excellent second choice. It's like punching a pill. There's no pain in voting for Joe Jorgensen, Libertarian. I understand there's some pain for people voting for the other 2 candidates. I fully support building the wall. We don't need more poor people coming into this country. We also don't need to spend billions of dollars south of the border fighting drugs. The war on drugs has been a total failure. So we need to stop drugs coming in at the border, plus up our border security, border patrol, and customs, and stop all drugs coming into this country, along with all illegal aliens. I'm also supporting, bringing white South Africans into the United States. There's approximately 5 million white South Africans. Since the communists, the blacks have taken over 40,000 white South Africans have been murdered. Many more have been raped. They've been robbed of their farms. We need to bring these white South Africans, especially the farmers, into the United States, because our farmer population here is aging out. These people are hardworking, and I think they'd be a fine contribution to America's farming community. I'm pro-farm. If you love to eat, love a farmer.
As a matter of policy, if you are wanting to limit illegal immigration, as you said, what in terms of policy then would you propose to deal with your desire to bring in that population from South Africa? Would you have a special policy to accommodate them, or still require that they go through the proper immigration laws and procedures in this country?
Well, there is a policy on the books of bringing people that are abused or in danger of their life from foreign countries. And we've done that before, like the population from Vietnam. We brought them people in because they were in danger of being killed or mistreated in Vietnam. Well, the South Africans, as I said, since the black communists have taken over in South Africa, over 40,000 have been killed. And the farmers are being murdered. The women are being raped. I mean, it's a problem of not just normal immigration. There's a population there that's being abused. And some of these, most of these white South Africans go back to 500-600 years being in Africa. So they're more Africans than they are anything else. But the black communist South Africans don't want them.
You also mentioned stopping the war on drugs, addressing that in terms of a border security issue. Can you specifically address what proposals you would either strengthen, enforce, or enact as new policy to deal with those issues of border security in addition to building the wall and so forth to deal with the war on drugs?
Well, the war on drugs, as said, has failed. And I think that we are wasting money, spending money south of the border, because a lot of it goes into billions of dollars over the years are going in the hands of corrupt officials, military and civilian officials south of the border. I think we need to spend more money on more border patrol agents, more customs agents, stop the drugs at the border. We also need to treat drug addiction as just that, addiction. It shouldn't be a crime. Under Clinton, he passed laws where millions of Americans, majority of minorities, were sent in prison for nonviolent drug offenses. It's if you got a drug problem, it's a problem. It shouldn't be a crime, and we need to spend money dealing with that issue to help people get off their addiction. And I think that would be money well spent instead of sending money south to try and fight drugs, which has failed. So the border wall is part of it. The money that we would save could go into more border security, personnel, wall, and also treating people that are addicted to these drugs. And we've had drug addiction in the 1870s when heroin and cocaine and opium came into this country. So drug addiction is not new to America. We just need to go back to treating people with this addiction. And we used to have mental hospitals to do that, and we need more. Not only mental hospitals, drug addiction centers.
Max Riekse is the Libertarian candidate for Michigan's U.S. 2nd Congressional District, joining us here on Meet the Candidates. You also mentioned, sir, being pro-farm. We do have a farm bill on the books, so addressing that then, do you feel that needs to be rewritten, changed? How would you take on a more pro-farm stance, as you indicate?
Well, first of all, I like what President Trump has done in regards to trade with China and pressing them to be more, make better deals with China in regard to trade and farm agriculture aspects. I'm not familiar with the current trade bill, but I am confident Donald Trump has the farmers' best interest at heart.
If we look beyond the issues of border security and the agriculture policy, then what next would you identify as a key issue that either you or the voters feel should deserve your attention if elected to Washington?
Well, something off the books a bit is I've been involved in the POW MIA issue as a VFW legislative officer for like 30, 40 years. We left behind approximately 23,000 plus Americans that were held by the Germans and scarfed up by the Russian communists as they came east. They never ever seen again. They were just forgotten about. We have 2,500 POWs from the Korean War that were known to end up in Russia and never heard from again. And this is documented and verified by a top secret document released by the Eisenhower administration library some years ago. Approximately 800 live Vietnam POWs were left behind. So I would press Russia and Vietnam to return at least the remains of these people because I think that's significant and important. President Trump gets along well with Russian President Putin, and I think he would be very open to bringing these people home, either remains or anybody that's alive. Having said that, as a libertarian, we are very much against war. The last good war we had was the war with 1812 and the Revolutionary War with the British. World War I, World War II, the Korean War, Vietnam War, Afghanistan, Iraq, Syria. These are all wars for neocon Trotskyite wealthy elite. We don't need to be involved with them. Over 1 million Americans have been involved in these, have been killed and died in these wars. I'm not anti-military. I'm very pro-military. My military history and my family goes back 300 years. But we need a strong military. But absolutely, we need less of these neocon Trotskyite communist wars, and Donald Trump is trying to end that. That's one thing the deep state doesn't like about him. They're making billions of dollars off these wars, Democrats and Republicans. That's one reason. That's one reason why they're fighting him. And that's one reason that he's been keeping a lot of his campaign promises. He's tried to get us out of these wars. And if anybody deserves the Nobel Peace Prize, it's Donald Trump.
What additional measures then, when it comes to foreign policy, would you bring to Washington if elected to assist in this issue to limit the amount of military action around the world?
Well, we need to withdraw from being peacekeepers and nation builders and regime change. We just don't need to get involved in other people's affairs. Now, it's been alleged that the Russians have interfered in American elections. But you go back in time under the Clinton-Gore administration, we sent billions and billions of dollars to Russia to interfere in their elections. At the London airport, over a huge Connex container of $100 bills, like $1 billion, disappeared. It was robbed off the tarmac. Over $60 billion ended offshore bank accounts that went to Russia, that ended off offshore bank accounts under Yeltsin. Yeltsin was pretty corrupt. So we've interfered in their elections. They're interfering in our elections. Right now, we have a problem in the communist Chinese funding in part BLM and Antifa in this country. They're interfering in our elections. So we have spent a lot of time interfering in other people's elections and their lives and trying to regime change. And I think we need to end that. I think we need to cut foreign aid by like 95%. Why are we still giving Israel billions and billions of dollars, for instance, in Saudi Arabia and Egypt? It's not necessary. Let them exist on their own. They've done it for, they're good, solid countries. Israel is in no danger of being overrun or attacked by any foreign entities. Israel has anywhere from 300 to 500 nuclear weapons, and it means to deliver them. I don't think we need to have Israel back any more than we did. And we certainly don't need to spend them any more money.
In the last half minute then, sir, what would be a final message you would leave with the voters as they get set to go to the polls?
Well, as I said, I understand as Libertarian candidate, people have some qualms about voting for third-party candidates. Libertarian Party's on the ballot in all 50 states, and we're a viable party. We're the party of peace, more or less. We're not in for foreign intervention, regime change, nation building. And I think that there's some good things. If you aren't comfortable voting for Donald Trump, I love Trump, I'm voting for Trump, then you have Jo Jorgensen is a good alternative choice. As I said, she's like punching a pillow. There's no pain involved in voting for Jo Jorgensen. Look up her website. Sleepy Creepy Joe, I don't think he's up to the job. The guy is, I don't think the guy has it all there. And the people backing him want to bring socialism, revolution to this country. And I don't think that'd be very good for anybody. One of the ways the communists have taken over in many countries in the past is by getting elected, and then that's the last election you have. Venezuela is a good example. They have trouble finding the basic necessities of life. Venezuela used to be one of the top 10 wealthiest countries in the world. Now it's at bottom 5. So if you want to be like Zimbabwe, which is the former Rhodesia, Venezuela, Red China with no rights whatsoever, then you got to vote for Creepy Sleepy Joe. Otherwise, vote for Trump, or if you can't do both of them, which I fully understand, vote Libertarian.
We appreciate your time speaking with us and the voters in the 2nd Congressional District. Good luck with the rest of the campaign. Stay safe, and thank you very much for joining us.
And thank you again for what you do.
We've been speaking with Max Riekse. He is the Libertarian candidate in the race for Michigan's 2nd Congressional District. Under Michigan law, all qualifying party candidates have been invited to participate in this series. I'm David Nicholas. On behalf of all of us here, thank you for your time and attention as well. And remember to vote on Tuesday, November 3rd.